Assalamu alaikum dear students. In this lecture we are going to study about the agreement concept in English grammar. So we are studying the syntax that is basically related to the grammar. So previously we have studied about a concept that is a case. We have studied different cases in the English grammar, and now we are going to study about the agreement, that is another concept in the English grammar. So let's see. The lecture outline is we are going to study about the what is agreement in English grammar, and then the rules of subject verb agreement. So let's begin towards the lecture and see what is the agreement and what are the basic rules for agreement in an English grammar. In grammar, agreement is the correspondence of a verb with its subject in person and number, and of a pronoun with its antecedent in person, number, and gender. Another term for grammatical agreement is concord. So, in grammar, what is the agreement? Agreement is that there must be the correspondence of a verb with its subject. So previously I have taught you in detail what is the subject, what is the object. So it's very now easy for you to identify that what is the subject in a sentence, and then verb, what is the verb in the sentence. Then you have to see in the sentence that either the verb is according to the subject or not. Like we have seen a general, we know that we have some singular subjects, we have some plural subject, and according to them we use the verb. Like if we have the singular subject, we add s or es with the verb, and if we have the plural subject, then we do not add s or es with the verb. So it's very necessary to see whether the verb is in agreement with the subject. How? In person and number and gender, and or either it's not. So another term for grammatical agreement is concord. Concord again is the another term for the agreement. Instead of agreement, we say that either the verb and subject are in concord with each other or not. So let's begin towards the rules, that what are basically the rules of the agreement in the English grammar. The basic rule. I have previously I have just discussed that we have a basic rule that singular subjects must have singular verbs. Plural subjects take plural verbs. So for the agreement, like in order to make the sentence grammatically correct with the, like according to the agreement, you must first know that what is the subject in the sentence and what is the verb in the sentence. If you have no idea that what is the subject in the sentence and what is the verb in the sentence, then how you can do that agreement, how you can apply the rules of agreement in a sentence to make it grammatically correct. So keep practicing on like identifying that the first sentences, then what is the sentence is about, and what is the subject in the sentence, and what is the object in the sentence, and what is the verb in the sentence. So only then, if you are able to identify that what is the subject and what is the verb in a sentence, only then you can apply these rules of agreement in a sentence in an English grammar to make it grammatically correct. So singular subjects must have singular verbs. Plural subjects take plural verbs. This is the basic firstmost rule. Subject-verb agreement. Agreement in grammar means that the subject and verb must be alike in number. So alike in number, what does that mean? Like if the subject is plural, the verb must be plural, and if the subject is singular, the verb must be singular. Here the thing is to be noted that we do not change the subject according to the verb. We change the verb according to the subject. We see the subject, like we do not see the verb. The subject always comes before the verb. So we see that what is the subject, and according to that subject we add that kind of verb with it. Like if we have, like for example, if we have a sentence, he go to school. So here the subject verb agreement rule is not applied. He go to school. We know that he is a singular, that we know that it's a singular pronoun. We are talking about one person. So with singular we add es or es with the verb. So we say he goes to school. They goes to school. Here the sentence is not grammatically correct according to the subject verb agreement rules, because they goes to school, they is a plural, and we know that the plural subject takes the plural verb, whereas goes is a singular verb. So they goes to school is incorrect, they go to school is correct. A singular subject requires a singular verb, and a plural subject requires a plural verb. So this is the general rule which you need to follow in order to make the sentence grammatical correct. The first and most important rule in subject-verb agreement is that the verb must agree with the intended number of the subject. Like previously I have taught you that the verb must agree with the intended number of the subject. If the subject is I've considered the example, he go to school, he goes to school. So he, by the word he, we are getting that the subject is 1 in number. If we have they go to school, then we are getting the idea that they is not one person. The number of the people are more than 1. So we know that the verb must agree with the number of the intended number of the subject. To accomplish that rule, you must follow 2 tasks. So then again, what you need to follow, identify the real subject. Here, if you are unable to identify the real subject in a sentence, then you are not able to apply the rules of agreement in the English grammar. Or to make the sentence grammatical, you cannot apply the rules of agreement to the sentence without knowing that what is the subject, because the agreement only happens when we identify the subject, and according to that subject we have to make the verb agreement. The second one is determine whether the subject is singular or plural. So first, you have in a sentence, you have to identify that what is the subject. Then you have to identify that either the subject is the singular, I mean 1 in number, or it's plural, I mean more than 1 in number. So these 2 things you have to follow for following the rules of the agreement in the English grammar. So the first rule is the subject and verb must agree in number, that a singular subject takes singular verb, plural subjects take plural verb. Here you just take the example. For example, Mr. Batan is the jolliest man I know. So here Mr. Batan, by first identify that what is the verb. So we know that is the verb, and what is the subject. So we are getting the idea that Mr. Batan is the subject, is the person for which the sentence is about. So Mr. Batan is the subject here. So Mr. Batan is one person, is a singular. So singular subject takes the singular verb. So we placed Mr. Batan is the jolliest man I know. We are not supposed to write that Mr. Batan are the jolliest man I know. No, the sentence would be grammatical incorrect. We have to write the singular verb with the singular subject. This is the agreement. Okay, the second sentence is the children sing with pride and confidence. Here, who sing with pride and confidence? The children. So the sentence is about the children. So we get the idea that the subject is the children. So the children is the plural form of child. So we come to know that the children is not about one child, it's about many children. So we write the plural verb with the plural subject. We are not supposed to write the children sings with pride and confidence. Instead we have to write the children sing with pride and confidence. Next example is Vince is the name of any person. Vince, there are option is and are the best news writer in his grade. So if you are not aware, like there are many sentences where we are not aware that either it's talking about a place, like in Europe people have like different names. We were not aware of the names, like Vince, we may get that Vince is a place or Vince is something. What is Vince? We are not aware within that name, but by the pronoun his, we are getting the idea that if his is used as a pronoun, then Vince is a person which is singular. So singular subject takes the singular verb. So we are not supposed to write Vince are the best news writer in his grade. Instead we have to follow the subject verb agreement, that is Vince is the best news writer in his grade. Now the second sentence is the players are having a hard time choosing a team. So the players, by the word the players, we are getting the subject is the plural, so we are supposed to write the plural verb, that is are. Instead we are not supposed to say the players is having a hard time choosing a team. If we have like the sentence the player is having a hard time choosing a team, then it is okay to write is. But here now, when we have the players, the subject is plural, then we are supposed to write the plural verb, that is are, in the sentence. If we do not follow the subject verb agreement, then our sentence would be totally ungrammatical. Second is a compound subject joined by an is generally plural and requires a plural verb. So we have many compound subjects which are joined by and, are taken as a plural, and then it requires a plural verb. Let's take an example. San Antonio Spurs and New Jersey are our favorite basketball teams. So we have two subjects which are two nouns, San Antonio Spurs and New Jersey. These are two teams, and joined by and, we have the rule that when compound subject are joined by are, then they are the plural, so they take the plural verb. Richmond and Russell often argue with each other. So here, instead of writing argues, we have to write the plural form of verb, that is argue. If two parts of a compound subject refer to a single person or thing or form a single unit, the compound subject is considered singular. If two parts of a compound subject refer to the same thing or a person, then we take it as a single unit. Let's take an example. The manager and owner of the company is present in the meeting. The manager and owner, they are two compound subjects joined by and, but here they are referring to the same one unit, the same one company, the manager and the owner. The manager is also of that company, the owner is also of that company, so we take it as one unit, and then we have to write as a singular verb. The manager and owner of the company is present in the meeting. Bread and butter is our daily food. So bread and butter is referring to one unit, that is usually bread and butter we used together in the breakfast. So we use as a single unit, so it's a singular verb. The famous singer and composer has arrived at the concert venue. So singer and composer are two people which are present at the same time, referring to the same thing, same unit, that is at whenever you attend any concert, there is the composer as well and there is the singer as well. So referring to the single unit, so we take as is the singular subject, so verb we add is would be the also the singular. So we say the famous singer and composer has arrived at the concert venue. Singular subjects joined by or nor take a singular verb. When singular subjects are joined by or nor, they take a singular verb. When a singular subject and a plural subject are joined by either or, neither nor, the verb agrees with the nearer subject. How? Let's take an example. Either my father or my brothers. Like we have said that when the sentence is joined by either or, then we have to write the verb according to the nearer subject. Here my brothers, which is subject nearer to the verb is my brothers. Brothers is plural, so we add are going to meet the buyer. Either my brothers or my father is, like my father is a verb, and then before verb the nearer subject is my father. My father is a singular subject, so we are supposed to write the singular verb. So my father is going to meet the buyer. So clear with the both the example. When if it's neither or either or, you have to apply the same rule. Neither Nomi nor Chris was hurt in the accident. So Chris was the subject, the nearer subject to the verb, that is also a singular, so we take it as a singular. Neither Chris nor Nomi was hurt in the accident. Either my mother or my father is going to pick me up from school. Neither Megan nor my sisters were listening to my story. Either or, neither nor. Collective nouns take a singular or a plural verb depending on whether the group is thought of as a whole or as individuals. So we have studied what are the collective nouns. Collective nouns, like we like the class is a collective noun, team is a collective noun, like we have army is a collective noun referring to many people they have. So when they are taken as a singular or a plural verb, depending on whether the group is thought of as a complete group or we are talking about some individual from that group. Like take an example. When regarded as a unit or whole, a collective noun is singular. The team is going to Mindanao to administer a support seminar. So the team, So here the team, the word is a collective unit. We are talking about the collective unit, the team, so we take it as a singular. So the verb is a singular. Now the sentence, when regarded as individuals, a collective noun is plural. How? The members of the class are working hard on their projects. Here we are talking about the individuals. We haven't write like the class is working hard on their project. Instead we have said that the members of the class. So we are talking about the individuals. So in this case we take the collective noun as plural. So this is all about the today's lecture. Like we have studied that what is the subject verb agreement. There are many rules further as well. You can get it from the Google internet as well. These are some references you can take for the guide form as well. Thank you. Allah Hafiz.